Welcome to Spirituality on the Go, the podcast that helps you discover the spiritual tools you need to live in the divine flow, connected to your true self and God, so you can experience inner peace, balance, and wholeness. Today we're going to explore a topic that can be life-changing for each one of us. I call it the power of remembering you are one with God. To begin, let me ask you a question. What if the greatest spiritual truth that you can discover isn't something we have to earn or figure out, but something we just forgot? Or maybe something we weren't taught? What if beneath all the noise of self-doubt and striving, all the anxiety, all the trying to figure out who God is and who we are, there's just a simple truth waiting to be remembered? And that truth is, you were one with God. That truth isn't just an idea intellectually or a metaphor. It's a deep spiritual reality. But the fact is, most of us weren't taught that. We were taught something different. Most of us were taught that God's out there, far away, that I have to earn God's love. I have to confess enough to behave just right, do all the right things. And maybe, just maybe, if I get it all right, I'll be worthy of a connection with God. But the mystics, the spiritual leaders over the years, Christ himself taught us that there's another truth, a different truth, that we have to remember. Meister Eckhart once said, "The ultimate fulfillment in life is to recognize this one truth: I am one with God." Think about that. Eckhart is telling us that there's just one thing that kind of unlocks the key to our understanding of who we are and who God is. And that simple truth is, I am already one with God. The contemplative mystic Julian of Norwich called this concept oneing. She said that we are already one with God. We just have to awaken to that simple truth. Thomas Merton, the monk, said once, "We are already one with God, but we imagine we are not. We just have to remember and restore the awareness of that unity with God." So today in our podcast, we're not here to strive or learn something new. We're here to remember what our hearts already know. We are one with God. We're not here to get anything, but to return to what's always been true. So a question is, why does this remembering we're one with God matter? The reason is because when we forget we're one with God, that shapes how we live and often how we suffer through life. When we believe we're separate from God, we're not one with God, we live from a place of self-doubt, constantly questioning if we're enough, if we're good enough. We live with anxiety, feeling we have to control or perform to be safe or loved. Or we live with shame, believing there's something fundamentally wrong with us, but we're not sure what that is. And this disconnection that we feel on the inside isn't just emotional, it's spiritual and biological. When we live feeling disconnected from God, we live in fear. Our nervous systems stay stuck in survival mode. Our bodies tighten. Our breath shortens. Our brain recycles patterns of unworthiness. But when we begin to remember our oneness with God, everything changes. Everything begins to shift. Spiritually, we awaken to love as our core, our essence. It's not something we earn. We are the divine image of love, connected with God, who is love. Mentally, we soften that grip of fear that survival mode that we live in. We let go of that. And our brains plant new truth-filled pathways that rewire the neurons in our brain to replace the untruths of being disconnected with God to the one truth that we are one with God. And physically, when we live from that perspective, that truth that we're one with God, we relax, our breath deepens, our hearts open. And emotionally, we become more compassionate with ourselves and with others. And here's another thing that's important. When we forget we're one with God and that others are one with God too, we begin to project our own unhealed fears, our insecurities. We judge other people all around us. We label others as wrong, unworthy, or not spiritual enough. We criticize others and compete with them. We divide and defend, all because we've forgotten we're all connected to the one source of our being, God. But remembering our oneness, our oneing with God, restores us. It opens the door to humility, empathy, and true connection with our true selves and God. We stop seeing other people as threats or mirrors of our own shame. We begin to live from our true selves. We begin to see ourselves and others as the divine sparks of God's love in our human form. This shift in our perspective shapes how we see ourselves. We no longer see ourselves or others as projects to fix, but instead, we remember we are sacred beings with a divine spark of God within us, within others. We begin to see others not as competition or problems, but as companions on this sacred journey called life. And it changes how we see the world, not as a battlefield where we got to protect ourselves and defend and survive, but the world then is holy ground, shimmering with divine presence, the unfolding of love that we get to participate in, creating more love in the world. So if all that's true, if we are one with God, how do we move from that truth from our heads into our hearts? How do we rewire our minds, soften our bodies, and awaken our spirits to what's already true? And the answer is, it comes through practice, daily practice, not performance, not perfection, but quiet, embodied remembering. It invites us to remember that truth, to sit in stillness, to use guided meditations like the one that I'll next offer us to walk through. It's just a simple remembering in our hearts and our souls that we are one with God, and allowing that truth to sink into our bones, to sink into our being, and replace the old false truths. So, if you would, let's take a few sacred moments now to rest in that truth together through a guided meditation I'll walk you through next. Take a moment and find a safe place where you can be in the quiet, to take a few moments to rest with this guided meditation. In that quiet place, take a moment to close your eyes. Allow yourself to arrive to this moment, this place where you are present to yourself, and knowing God is here with you as you take this moment to be still. Begin by taking a few deep breaths in through your nose, and then exhale through your mouth. Relax your body, your arms, your shoulders. Let your jaw soften. And allow your mind to sink into your heart space. Bring your awareness to your belly, the quiet sanctuary at the center of your being. And breathe into that space in your body. Feel the breath of the Holy Spirit flowing in your belly. And just let your attention, your focus rest there. When you're ready, begin to repeat this mantra, either silently or out loud after me. I am one with God. I am one with God. I am one with God. God is one with me. God is one with me. Nothing can separate me from God. Nothing can separate me from God. Because I am always held, now and forever, in God's divine embrace. I am held now and forever in God's divine embrace. And I awaken to the truth that I am one with God. I am one in God. Let the words settle into your soul like rain soaking into dry soil, allowing you to breathe in the truth that you are already one with God. Your soul knows it. Your heart is awakening to it. And your mind follows the truth that you know deep down. You are one with God. You don't have to force this truth. You don't have to feel anything special within you. Just let it be true. And as you speak those words to yourself, your mind might wander. And that's okay. It happens to all of us. Just bring it back to a simple mantra. I am one with God. If old thoughts arise like I'm not enough, or I have to earn God's love, or I don't know if this is true or not, whatever it is, just notice those old thoughts. They're old neuron pathways we've learned over the years. But you can replace them by gently returning to your breath and the truth that God is one with you and you are one with God. As you sit in the quiet, feel the presence of the divine, God's amazing spirit of love within the rise and fall of your breath. Know that God's presence is in the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat. And feel the sacred truth already within you. You are created by God. You are always connected with God. You don't have to strive. You just return to that truth. You don't have to earn that love, that oneness with God. You simply remember it. You awaken to the truth there within your soul. You are one with God, always, forever. Just rest in that truth for a few more moments of quiet. And when you're ready, bring some gentle movement back into your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers, roll your shoulders, experience the joy of being one with God. And then open your eyes and carry this truth with you. Let this truth that you are one with God transform you, how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you see others. Remember, you are not separate from God. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are one with God. Always. Now. Forever. Thank you for joining me today on this podcast, Spirituality on the Go. If this episode was helpful for you, feel free to share it with someone you love, a friend, a neighbor, someone that might need some words of encouragement so that they too can remember the power of knowing you and me, we are all one with God. And remember, you're not on a journey to find God. You're on a journey to remember you've never been apart from God. Until next time, may you walk gently, breathe deeply, and live from the quiet truth that you are one with God. God bless you.